Sometimes the feelings people around us have toward us aren't obvious. In some cases, we may even sense hidden hatred from those closest to us. These feelings are often not visible to the eye, but over time we can begin to feel them. Deep down, we may realize that behind some people's actions or words lies a different intention, something colder, more negative. But how can we recognize this? If someone appears genuinely close to you, yet you still sense an unexplainable coldness or negativity from them, chances are something is wrong.
How can we tell?
Hidden hatred often shows itself in subtle and discreet ways. You only start noticing it when you pay close attention. It's something that's never openly displayed, but once you feel it, it can disturb you. Believe it or not, even the most insignificant actions or small gestures can carry strong emotional signals. So how do we understand this? If you carefully observe someone's behavior and reactions, you might notice signs of hidden resentment. It can be very hard to detect, even in your closest friends or family members. But remember, these feelings can start to express themselves, even if they remain unspoken. If you've ever felt that someone is treating you coldly, negatively, or hiding some sort of resentment toward you, then this video is exactly for you. If you're ready, let's begin. First, let's talk about indifference and cold behavior. When someone truly loves or values you as a friend, the relationship naturally becomes warm and engaging. They want to spend more time with you, get to know you better, and establish a connection. Connecting with you isn't just a habit for them. It's something they genuinely want. That person wants to be present in your life, to share moments with you, even the small everyday ones. For example, when you expect a call from them or send them a message, they will respond. If something's wrong, they'll inform you and continue to maintain communication. In other words, when someone genuinely cares, their closeness will grow over time. But let's look at a different scenario. If someone starts acting cold, distant, and unusually detached, that can be a red flag. Hidden hatred often reveals itself in this way: delayed replies, ignoring your messages or calls, or keeping even the simplest interactions cold and distant. Imagine texting them one day and not receiving a reply for hours. That's not something you'd expect from someone who values you. Or when you call them and without any real reason, they fail to respond to your expectations. This kind of coldness can't always be explained by being busy. It could be a lack of desire to maintain a connection or an attempt to conceal negative emotions. Maybe in these situations, the person is simply avoiding your attention. Sometimes people can be harsh or cold toward us, but hidden hatred goes even deeper. It's a kind of avoidance of your very presence or simply pretending not to see you. Cold behaviors help these people hide their inner anger and feelings. It's also their way of showing they don't want to connect with you. Ignoring your calls and messages is often how they avoid directly expressing their internal dissatisfaction. Sometimes coldness begins with subtle distance, but over time it can become more obvious and noticeable. Paying attention to how someone makes you feel can help you recognize these behaviors and uncover hidden hatred. People who secretly harbor hatred often try to belittle or undermine you with subtle words. These individuals may carry a hidden sense of competition or express their anger through passive-aggressive remarks. When you share your achievements, instead of celebrating with you, they might downplay them or use sarcasm to mock you. Through this, they reveal their resentment toward your success. For example, phrases like, "I didn't expect you to pull this off," or "It's nice, but not the best," are often clear signs of hidden hatred. These statements are not meant as compliments or encouragement. On the contrary, their goal is to diminish your efforts or luck. Even in moments of success, they treat your achievements as something small or insignificant. This behavior is a disguised form of anger and a reflection of the hidden rivals in your life. Sometimes these words are masked with irony. Of course, that's great, but it just doesn't seem like you. This shows the person's inner dissatisfaction as they attempt to undermine your success while pretending to be supportive. They try to belittle your accomplishments without being openly insulting, which is perhaps the most harmful part. It causes you to feel dismissed and unappreciated without any direct confrontation. The main goal of these subtle negative remarks is to weaken your confidence, devalue your achievements, and pull you down to their level. Hidden hatred often surfaces in this way. Small words meant to make you feel less without you even realizing it. These behaviors stem from an inability to accept your growth and a discomfort with the fact that you might be a step ahead. Sometimes, it's difficult to analyze such behavior because it can be highly subjective and subtle. These people might even present their comments as compliments, but the underlying meaning is completely different. By belittling you, they attempt to hide their internal anger. Recognizing these behaviors and responding accordingly is crucial for your emotional well-being and self-confidence. Even if people with hidden resentment never directly harm you, they may still closely observe your successes with the intention to minimize or ignore them. Every accomplishment in your life may feel like a threat to them. They perceive your achievements as overshadowing their own, which makes them uneasy. As they witness your progress, they may silently experience deep feelings of rivalry and jealousy, emotions they try to hide. But how does hidden hatred actually show itself? For instance, when you achieve something, their reaction is cold and unnatural. If someone who would normally congratulate you shows no warmth or enthusiasm, instead wearing a blank or forced expression, that's a clear warning sign. Cold reactions are one of the most common signs of hidden hatred. For example, if you win an award and their only response is a flat congratulations, it may signal inner competition or resentment. If someone reacts to your success in an unexpectedly cold way, it likely means they don't take your achievements seriously. On the contrary, they may be trying to make your accomplishments seem small or insignificant. Phrases like, "Oh, that's nice, but I guess it's not that important to you," anyway, are direct manifestations of hidden hatred. Sometimes people do this unknowingly, or they observe you closely from a distance. For example, if you're consistently progressing in your field, one of them might silently watch every step you take without ever confronting you. But at some point, you'll notice that even when you achieve something relatively small, they show no enthusiasm. On the contrary, the more you share your accomplishments with them, the more they exhibit subtle signs of dissatisfaction and pretend not to recognize the value of your success. In reality, this is how they channel their internal anger and discontent toward you. They see you as a hidden rival, and in an attempt to deny that rivalry, they try to minimize and disregard your achievements. Their own competitive drive and desire to succeed clash with your progress, creating feelings of confusion and emotional turmoil within them. When all these behaviors come together, hidden hatred often reveals itself through subtle forms, cold reactions to your successes, attempts to downplay your accomplishments, and viewing your life only from an external perspective, without truly understanding your journey. If you observe such behavior, understand that this person could be one of your most covert adversaries, and their way of watching you is deeply rooted in hidden resentment. People with hidden hatred often try to harm you in delicate ways by constantly comparing you to others. This can be incredibly damaging, as they attempt to diminish your worth by highlighting what they perceive as weaknesses in your life, especially in contrast to someone else's strengths. For example, if someone says, "So-and-so has so many good friends, but you're always alone," it plants a seed of doubt in your mind and subtly isolates you from your social environment. Such remarks usually stem from hidden rivalry and jealousy. They may view your achievements or your support system as a threat. Your positive relationships or personal growth can make them feel left behind or inferior. Their cold but toxic words often reflect a mix of envy and veiled resentment. Phrases like, "Look how many good people are in their life, but you have no one," or "They get help from others, but you never do," are designed not to insult you outright, but to make you feel inadequate. The goal here is to diminish your success or elevate others in comparison to you. These behaviors show that the person doesn't truly feel close to you. They constantly monitor your progress and compare it to their own, feeling like they're being left behind. Sometimes, they even experience a sense of secret superiority by contrasting their strengths, especially their relationships, with your vulnerabilities, imagining themselves as being above you. In truth, these behaviors stem from their own inner discomfort. When they compare your connections to theirs, they fail to see how little progress they've made in their own lives and how much they're sabotaging themselves. It's merely a reflection of their helplessness in the face of your advancement. As they see you moving forward, they become more aware of their own failures, and in comparing themselves to you, they try to find some consolation. When someone constantly compares you to others, whether through behaviors or achievements, it's a clear sign of emotionless jealousy and hidden resentment. Instead of forming a genuine connection with you, they always place you in contrast with someone else, pushing you further away in the process. This behavior is simply a reflection of their own internal insecurities. People who harbor hidden hatred often try to expose your weaknesses, but they do it in a way that appears natural or harmless. The truth is, everyone has flaws. It's part of being human. However, these weaknesses are not as important as our strengths, because they serve as opportunities for learning and growth. But when someone secretly resents you, they use those flaws as tools to manipulate or undermine you. For instance, while they may have once been unaware of your vulnerabilities, now they know exactly where to strike. They weaponize your weaknesses because your success or happiness makes them uncomfortable and envious. A person consumed by hidden resentment will never accept your flaws as naturally as they may have in the past. Instead, they highlight them with blame and bring them up at every opportunity to throw them in your face. Sometimes, these individuals behave so subtly and deceptively that those around them can't see the manipulation. Comments like, "You're really good, but not at this," or "You're not successful at that. Look how well I do it," send covert messages. By constantly emphasizing your shortcomings, they try to keep you mentally and emotionally tied to your perceived failures. This kind of behavior is a form of emotional manipulation. Even if they don't express open hostility, they consistently highlight your weaknesses to quietly break down your confidence. It's their way of gaining power. When a person secretly resents someone they see as superior, the easiest method to level the playing field is by exploiting their vulnerabilities. If someone repeatedly points out your flaws to others, it's a clear sign that they've begun taking an oppositional stance in your life. They refuse to acknowledge your strengths but eagerly showcase your weaknesses to turn others against you or to make themselves feel superior. It's a sneaky and deceptive tactic because most people don't recognize it right away. People filled with hidden hatred rarely seek true friendship or closeness. Instead, they approach you with selfish intentions. This kind of behavior is unexpected and misleading. At first, they seem interested, but in reality, they're only trying to use your time or resources for their own benefit. Ultimately, they have no intention of forming a genuine friendship because their interest in you is purely transactional and self-serving. For example, imagine someone rarely reaches out to you, but the moment they need help, they immediately try to contact you. These kinds of people only approach you when it benefits them, treating you like a tool for their convenience. However, they never offer true friendship when you're around, nor do they provide emotional support or share your good days with you. Their relationship with you is entirely based on self-interest. These individuals only act close to you when you're useful to them. Their behavior is calculated and often filled with envy. For instance, when you offer help or express support, they accept it solely to serve their own goals. But when you're in a difficult situation or hope for their support, they'll respond with coldness and distance. If someone only comes near when they need something from you, it's a clear sign they're more interested in using you than building a genuine connection. These relationships are dangerous because the person tries to manipulate you with fake closeness. It's important to be cautious with people like this, as their hidden hatred and jealousy can drive them to exploit you from behind the scenes. Such people will always draw closer when you are successful or helpful, but they'll disappear when you're struggling or in need. Their closeness is directly tied to what you can offer them. Remember, if someone only comes around when they need something and completely disregards you at all other times, it's a strong indicator of hidden resentment and self-serving motives. Stay away from people like this. If you recognize these signs in your own life, it could be a major warning. Hidden hatred is rarely displayed openly, but if you pay attention to subtle intentions in words and small reactions, you'll start to see what's really going on. At that point, the most important step is to take a step back and analyze the relationship before making it a permanent part of your life. Never forget, hidden resentment doesn't always appear. Obviously, it can hide in the smallest signs. Gradual emotional distance, sarcastic remarks, or cold responses to your achievements can sometimes be a silent blow. Always try to better understand the people around you and their true intentions. Being cautious of hidden enemies is crucial for your mental and emotional well-being. At this point, protecting yourself and staying true to your values should be your top priority. Carefully consider who you allow into your life and who you grow close to. Believe that you deserve to be surrounded by people who offer genuine friendship, understanding, and heartfelt support. Taking control of your life and choosing the right people will bring more peace, clarity, and positive relationships. Always remember, you are valuable. Make room in your life only for those who are sincere and loyal, and set boundaries with those who try to manipulate you. Build your life by following your own path and stay far from hidden resentment. Being with people who love and support you will lead to the healthiest and most energizing relationships. You deserve better. Don't be afraid to believe that. You have the power to shape your life on your own terms. Stay committed to your values and principles, and remove the negative people from your surroundings. That way, you'll live a life free from hidden hate and be surrounded only by true friends. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. See you again soon.